Guys, just behind me is one of the darkest points in modern human history. Between 1940 and 1945, 1.1 million people lost their lives here. So in this vlog, we're going to explore the history of Auschwitz. Right guys, we're in Krakow now. This is the nearest town to Auschwitz, so we stayed here the night. Beautiful place, as you can see. But we're going to explore the city later, because right now we got a driver who's picking us up, and he's going to take us over to the Auschwitz site, which I think is like 1 hour drive away.
Hello guys.
Yeah, hey, how you doing, mate? You okay? I'm Callum.
Yeah, nice to meet you. My name is Norbert. Guys, they didn't upgrade me. Information you will be waiting on Tomasza 25. I had information about Wielopole 2.
Oh, he put the Thomas 25.
Imagine, yeah, sorry guys for that, but I'm waiting for you in the Wielopole 2. With the moment of name, like the passport ID.
Can I give it once we're in the car, yeah?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Like between Auschwitz and Birkenau, we like organized tour with home transport. We can, yeah, the guys, they agree for break, but short, so 15-20 minutes maximum.
Auschwitz is the largest and most famous of all the Nazi concentration camps. It's situated in southern Poland, and the Nazis saw it as the perfect location to bring in prisoners from all across Europe with one main objective in mind. Okay guys, we have arrived in Auschwitz, so we just had to go through a security check. They also check your passports when you come here. We've now met the guide, and we've been given a little headset as well, just to amplify his voice more. Following the group now, and we're heading down the tunnel. We're heading to the main opening gate of Auschwitz now, I believe. So this is the main gate to come into the work camp of Auschwitz. It reads there, Arbeit machen frei, which is German and translates as hard work will set you free. So obviously a bit condescending considering what they had to do, and no one actually got free from this place. Upon arriving at Auschwitz, prisoners would be lined up to be assessed whether they're fit to work. 70% of the prisoners would have been sentenced straight to death. If you were a woman or a child, your chances of getting a death sentence were much higher. So it says they used to also play music, and the entrance of the camp, so as you're going in and out, they would play a marching band. Everything you see here as well is authentic and real. Other than the glass windows, the whole building itself is completely preserved as like a memorial to what happened here. The final solution, as it was come to be known, was a Nazi policy to exterminate all Jewish people from the face of the earth. It was a policy that was constructed in a 90-minute meeting, but after the first 20 minutes of discussion, the officers had already decided the fate of the Jewish people. Upon arriving at Auschwitz, all items belonging to the prisoners were to be given to the Nazi officers, as this was now their property. That meant glasses, prosthetic legs, wedding rings, jewellery, watches, anything of value had to be given over. Here we see 80,000 pairs of shoes, 8,000 of which belong to children. The saddest part of all is that Nazi officers told the people to label their items so they could get them back after serving the sentence. Nobody got them back. So when the first prisoners were sent to this concentration camp, they didn't know at the time what was going to happen to them. They would come off the trains, the German soldiers would line them up, decide which ones were fit enough to work. Very few could actually be spared and sent into the work camp. The rest were sent straight to death, but they didn't know that. They were stripped apart, they would have their things taken from them, and then before they would go into the gas chambers, they were stripped naked. Those who made it past the initial death sentencing were by no means spared of suffering in Auschwitz. They were forced to work incredibly long hours and were given basic food rations, about 1,000 calories per day. Many prisoners would succumb to the starvation after about 3 or 4 months in the camps. This statue is titled the Muslim phase, as it shows prisoners hunched over from malnutrition. These are many illegally wrote postcards and letters which talk of the brutality the prison guards would put their prisoners through. Many prisoners became desensitized to violence. This one painting shows a prisoner being hung, while the other prisoners eat their food rations around him. The sleeping quarters were small. Each block was designed to house 700 prisoners, but sometimes they would double this number. If prisoners broke the rules, they would be sent to the punishment basement in Block 11 and the infamous standing cell, a space so narrow you can't sit down. They would spend 1, 2, sometimes 3 nights in this cell. So that room was showing what they actually got some of the prisoners to do and how the conditions were for those that were spared the instant death sentence on arrival. This part is called the death wall, which is where prisoners would be executed by firing squad. Before they were killed, they'd be stripped naked and have their numbers written on their bodies. There was very few escape attempts from Auschwitz, and this is because all the prisoners knew if you tried to escape and got caught, it wasn't just you that was going to be killed, it would also be your friends, your family, anyone you associated with in that prison. Halt Stoj means stop in German and Polish, as many of the prisoners here couldn't speak German, so Polish would have been their language of choice. So that part of the tour was where they would keep the prisoners and where they would do the exterminations. We've now just passed through the gate, so this is where the SS officers were living, and we're going to check out the quarters of how the German prison guards were living at this site. As the size of Auschwitz increased, so too did the number of guards that had to be present. At its peak, there was about 4,500 guards living on site in Auschwitz, although they did have separate living quarters. Rudolf Holtz was the head of command, and it wasn't until 1945 that Auschwitz was liberated by the Soviet Red Army. So just here is the site where the lead SS officer of Auschwitz, Rudolf Holtz, was eventually captured in 1947, and the Jewish people that were prisoners in this camp, they requested that he's killed in the same location where he was doing all his murders and tortures. So this is where he eventually met his end and was hung, and I'm assuming in front of a large audience. We then went into the gas chambers, where they would execute up to 2,000 people at a time. The choice of chemical was cyanide, and it would be dropped in a cylinder from the hole in the roof. SS guards would wait outside until the very last screams would stop. That's when they knew everyone inside the gas chambers were dead. They also had incinerators there which would burn the corpses, hiding all the evidence of the atrocities that were committed at this site. Right guys, that was the first part of the Auschwitz tour. We're now going to head over to the other building. I think it's called the Bergenheim. Anyway, we're going to head over to the other part of the building now for the second part of the tour, and I think that's where the railway tracks are and where the actual arrivals would come into Auschwitz. So guys, this is the Birkenau now, Auschwitz-Birkenau. 1.1 million people were executed here over the course of 5 years that it was opened. It is today Poland's one of Poland's #1 attractions. 2 million people visit here every year. So guys, just inside some of these buildings are the quarters where they would keep all the workers of the prisoners, and thousands of them within a single bunker. It's really hot in Poland now, but in the winter, some of the coldest winters ever.
So as you can see, just the quality of these buildings, as you can see, no isolation inside whatsoever. So 400 adult men who lived on the inside, as you can feel in the summer, this makes it very stuffy, hardly any fresh oxygen to breathe. In the winter, as you can see, no isolation within these buildings whatsoever.
But you see, it wasn't just Jews that lost their lives here in Auschwitz. Many other ethnicities, like the Roma, the Polish, the Soviets, were all brought over to the concentration camps here. Some of them were spared and given a hard jail sentence, but many were just sentenced straight to death upon arriving at the camps. All prisoners were forced to wear a colour-coded identification badge to signify which type of prisoner they were. Black for Romas, red for political prisoners, pink for homosexuals, and the most famous of all, the yellow Star of David for Jewish prisoners.
The back of this site in this direction, and this is where all of the gas chambers and crematoria have been built. So back there, this is Auschwitz-Birkenau, the death camp, the extermination, the center.
How you guys doing? So you're all from New York, yeah? Okay, and that's your first time in Auschwitz. How do you find it? Maybe sum it up for you guys. How is it for you?
Very sad.
Very, very sad.
We have someone
Yeah.
here that his father was here and he survived.
Your father was.
My
Oh,
grandfather.
your grandfather
My
was.
my grandfather.
No, a part of the group.
So your grandfather was killed here.
Some
Oh,
of the
okay.
teachers' father was there. He's actually in the crematorium, and he's still alive. He's somebody take him out from the crematorium.
So like a survivor.
Yeah.
A survivor
One
from here.
Nazi
The last
camp.
minute.
Oh, he was actually
Go
in the
out.
crematorium.
Wow. And then what? So what happened afterwards? So after the camp kind of ceased to exist, he went to America.
Yes.
Yeah, as like a refugee over to there. Yeah. That's very powerful stuff. Yeah. So nice to meet you guys. Anyway. Okay. Respect. Thank you. God bless you all. Yeah. Okay. Take care, guys. Enjoy the rest of your trip. Yes, as you can see, guys, a lot of the Jewish community, they come here as like a bit of a pilgrimage to kind of to show their respect, find out about the history of where the Jewish people ended up, because obviously after this war, so many Jewish refugees kind of fled all over the world. So it's interesting to see. It's actually my first time meeting some Orthodox Jews, so it's very interesting for me. Yeah, I feel like it's quite a powerful place to come to be honest. One of the hardest things to see was the children's shoes, and it really just kind of brought it home, and it made you realise that, you know, we can learn about this in the history books, we can read about the facts and the numbers, but this was real people that were killed at this site. Right guys, that about wraps up the vlog there. We've just seen both buildings from Auschwitz and we've had a good bit of history learnt to us, so now it's time to process it all. I'll end on a little quote here, guys. It says, "Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it." Guys, thanks for watching. Take care, and until the next time, I'll see you later.